he's willing to be coached and he has those weapons you mentioned, and the situation around him is stable, realistically, where would he slot in for you among NFL quarterbacks? If everything that could be controlled for around him is controlled to a positive degree.
Yeah, I think he's a fringe top 10 type of guy. I think what you saw last year was a little bit of physical ability diminished, but he's coming off of the Achilles. I'm not saying that's going to get any better a year older, but could he get a little bit better, not being that close to the surgery. So he doesn't move around as well as he did before, but the arm, the velocity's there. He's still going to generally make good decisions. So is fringe top 10, is that okay? That's what happens when guys get into their 40s.
Oh, my God. I think take Andrew, fringe top 10 in a second.
When you said fringe top 10, Andrew just made a noise that I've rarely heard him make, and I know that the noise was that high.
Steve, I know you love questions like this.
Yeah.
18 touchdowns to 4 interceptions in the last 10 games. I've heard that brought up a million times as a reason why it makes sense for the Steelers to pursue him. Were his last 10 games really that good?
No, touchdown to interception ratio is not really a good indicator, and I think Rodgers has always been a guy that skews that is good at that particular ratio, but it doesn't always encapsulate what he's done. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. He's great, obviously. We know that. But even in the years where that touchdown to interception ratio was great, he always has a high sack total. We saw that pop up a lot. I don't think he's great in comeback situations, and so the situations when you're down a score in the fourth quarter, he had some awful end of game scenarios last year where he didn't throw a game ending interception, but it wouldn't hurt if he did, so that's where I think Rodgers has always been different from, say, Brady or Peyton Manning. I think those guys have been awesome in those situations. Mahomes, all those guys know how to play to the score, play to the situation. I think Rodgers has been lacking in that area. Versus some other guys. He had some moments last year, but he had some other situations. They just go 4 and out, and it was over. And it doesn't show up in a game-ending interception. He's almost too careful with the ball in those situations, is my point. So I would not use touchdown-to-interception ratio as the thing to defend Rodgers. He was way worse than his touchdown-to-interception ratio last year, but I do believe he is still capable of playing well enough, again, if he's playing within the system around him.